Lying down on your spine in Shavasana, taking your feet hip width, mat width, however wide you like. Your hands next to your body, or maybe also a little bit wider, taking up as much space as you feel like doing so today. Taking a moment to close your eyes and arrive here mentally as much as physically. Maybe closing your eyes, focusing on softening the muscles in your body, in your face. And gently notice which parts of you are falling heaviest into the floor. Notice your breath, the rise and fall of your belly. And notice if that breath comes easy or if maybe it comes a little labored today. Simply observing without judging. It just is. And keeping your mind on your breath. Noticing how breath purifies your body. With every breath in and every breath out, supplying the fresh, discharging the old. And with that, we bring our awareness to the concept of Saucha today. Saucha is the very first of the niyamas, and the niyamas are the second limb of the 8 limbs of yoga. So if this is new to you, a simple example of one of the other limbs of yoga is asana, the posture and the movement that we practice, usually when you go to a yoga class. And so Saucha is a niyama, part of the second limb of yoga, and it means purity or clarity. And so, as with many different things, your version of Saucha, of purity, of clarity, doesn't have to necessarily be the same as mine or as anyone else's. And therefore, let's start with the question, what does purity or clarity mean to me? Are they the same? Are they synonyms for one another? Or do they maybe have a slightly different connotation? And as always, make sure that your mind doesn't immediately cling to or race to one answer. Allow yourself to ponder the question, to maybe even leave it open and explore it more rather than closing it with an answer straight away. Asking yourself, what does purity or clarity mean to me? And once you do have an answer to this question, or if you have started to form it, maybe you add to this question, what makes that so? Why is this the definition to you? Is it truly yours? Or is it maybe simply something that someone has told you once? What does purity or clarity mean to me? And from here, as you keep your eyes closed, gently breathe in to reach your arms all the way up and above your head. Maybe you also bring your feet together, make yourself as tall as possible, a big stretch. Maybe you point your toes, reach your fingers up to the sky. And then as you exhale, bend your knees in. Feet can stay on the floor as we slowly roll ourselves all the way over onto our side and eventually onto the belly. Coming into Sphinx pose, moving your elbows out in front of you, leaning onto them. And if you feel like you can bring a block or a pillow underneath your chest to either increase the stretch or maybe decrease the stretch, up to you. The higher your support, the more intense the stretch will be. Making sure that, as always, you're somewhere in between. You don't feel nothing or completely comfortable. Something must be happening within your body. But you also don't feel pain. And in back bends, that pain is often a pinch in your lower back. We definitely want to avoid that. Maybe you want to take some blocks to rest your forehead upon. Or maybe you're fine keeping your head up in the air. And as you're here, as you find your variation of the posture, we come back to our intention of today, our focus. And then gently start to ask yourself, where do I find clutter or heaviness in my mind, or maybe also my body? Where do I find heaviness or clutter in my mind or in my body? Again, we simply ask, and allow a deeper mind or a deeper self to give you the answer rather than rushing to one again, or rather than rationalizing it. Where do I find or notice clutter or heaviness in my mind or body? Regardless of where this clutter comes from, simply notice and observe. From here, when you're ready, gently walk yourself up and onto your hands, pressing all the way back to a tabletop, taking away any props that you might have been using. And then take your hands slightly further towards the left side of the mat, stepping your right foot next to your hands, however you get it there. And then from here, you have a couple of options. We want to make sure that this right knee keeps itself close to the right arm or the right shoulder, so don't let it fall away too much. We want to make sure the left toes stay tucked under, or at least the left knee stays facing the floor. From here, if this is very heavy, you can take 2 blocks underneath your hands to give yourself a little bit more space. If your left knee is hurting, feel free to double fold your yoga mat for a little bit of extra padding or use a blanket. Or maybe you want to come down to your forearms, either on those blocks to go only slightly deeper or all the way down to the floor. Just make sure that you can hold this posture for multiple minutes. So mainly go to 80% of full capacity right now. Making sure to relax your neck, your eyebrows, your muscles. No unnecessary tension in your body. And now, as we're here, you can start to ask yourself, where does that clutter come from? And if many things came up in your previous question, feel free to tackle them one by one. How does this clutter get into my mind or into my body? Is it something that I have done myself? Whether consciously or subconsciously? Where does this clutter come from? Or how did it get here? And if you do not have an answer for the question, simply repeat it gently to yourself, as if you were to be repeating a mantra. And also feel free to, if you wish to do so, revisit previous questions. If you felt like you haven't spent enough time with one yet. Spending 1 more minute here. And if the sensation of this posture gets tough, gets intense, You meet it with breath. And then we gently shift our hips back and slide the right foot back. From here, if you've got your hands on blocks, keep them there. Taking a moment for child's pose. Shifting your hips back, your forehead down to the floor. Taking a gentle breath in and a gentle breath out. Noting the compression in your hips, how gravity is pulling them down back towards your heels. The gentle opening of your shoulders. And with your coming inhale, slowly start to round and curl yourself all the way back up to tabletop. And taking your hands slightly towards the right. And then we step our left foot forward and next to the left hand, allowing your hips to melt forward and down to the floor. Again, keeping your hips square, either tucking the right toes under, keeping the right knee down, using any prop you like. And if this also is too heavy, you can always place a block underneath your right hip, removing the pull of gravity just a little bit. Staying here for 4 minutes from now. And when it comes to purity, clarity, and clutter, which is the thing that I suppose prevents that, remind yourself that we can both accumulate physical, material clutter in our spaces, but we can also accumulate spiritual clutter, emotional clutter. When we hold on to things that maybe we have already outgrown, aren't really in line with who we want to be, or maybe a belief that was once told us but isn't really ours and doesn't really have to be. And so, with this in mind, you can ask yourself, what material clutter is present in my life? And material clutter could be things that you own in your home as well. Too much stuff, too much clothes. Or maybe you've already really narrowed it down. And again, without forming immediate opinions about what is, simply ask yourself the question, what material clutters do I have or is present in my life? Last minute here. And with material clutter, we can also include digital clutter or habits regarding these material digital things. Gently bringing yourself all the way back, moving slow, stepping your left knee back when you're ready, crossing your ankles behind you so that you can sit back onto your bum, taking one block here. And let's place it directly behind us so that it could land in between the shoulder blades when we lie back, on any height as you prefer. The higher you put it, the deeper your posture will be. Taking the soles of the feet together, knees full wide like a butterfly. And then we gently roll back onto this prop beneath us, allowing your head to fall back against it and rest on the floor. And if you need, you can always use a second prop to catch your head. Taking your hands, palms facing up next to you. Or maybe you prefer them on your hips, your belly. Or if you want to open up deeper through the shoulders, maybe you want to take your hands up and above your head. Staying here for 5 minutes. Asking yourself the question, what spiritual clutter is there in my life? What spiritual clutter is present? And another way to call it, if you don't want to call it spiritual, you could also call it emotional and focus on that aspect of it. What spiritual clutter is present in my life? And if your first answer is, I don't know, then you're in your head too much. Simply ask yourself the question of no attachment to the outcome or an answer. What spiritual clutter is present in my life? And maybe you know, but maybe there are simply no words, but you know. And that is enough as well. And gently bringing your chin into your chest, support yourself on your elbows. Slowly bring yourself all the way up, bringing your knees together, hugging your arms around your knees, and your forehead to your knees as well in angel pose. Feeling the tenderness and the aftermath of your spine or in your spine of the posture. Maybe you rock yourself side to side ever so slightly. Keeping your eyes closed and taking a moment in stillness. From here, gently come all the way up on your next inhale. Unravel your legs, kick your feet out in front of you, making sure your bum is out of the way. Taking a big breath in to reach your hands all the way up and above your head. Feel free to bend your knees as you're here. And then exhale, we pull the heart up, keeping the spine straight. And then forward, I'd rather have you be here with your bent knees, hands underneath your knees, relaxing your neck. Then that you are grabbing your feet, your knees might be straight, but it's a massive workout for your arms. This posture is meant to be gentle and a stretch. Of course, there should still be some sensation in your body. But don't let your ego pull you in deeper than is actually good for your physical body at this moment. And just because you can doesn't mean you should. Sending your breath into your lower back here. Staying here for 5 minutes as well. And from here, start asking yourself, if I lived a completely pure life, what would that look like? What would that change? How would your life be different compared to now? And again, make sure that you're not taking anyone else's definition of purity. For me, for example, pure means genuine. If something is very genuine, in my opinion, it is very pure. And that could be genuine joy, genuine love, genuine purpose. So, in your words, in your definition, if you were to live a completely pure life, what would that look like? And again, don't get stuck in your head. We passively ask, and answer will come. One more minute here. Keeping your mind focused on your practice, your awareness with your question. Taking a big breath in to again gently rise up. Supporting yourself on your hands behind you. We take our legs back to cross the ankles. Plant your hands out in front of you. And we step back to tabletop. Moving your right knee forward to your right wrist. Right foot comes over to the left side of the mat. And we slide our left foot backwards. Squeezing our right hip back, our left hip forward. And then come all the way down onto your forearms. Maybe take a pillow or a block underneath your head. Or maybe walk yourself all the way out, straightening your arms along the floor. Making sure that your left knee keeps facing down. And bringing your awareness back to the question you were asking yourself just now. If you were to live a completely pure life, what would that look like? And also observe how that vision makes you feel. It's okay if you don't like all of it, or if you do. Maybe after this practice, you take all things and apply them to your life. Maybe you take some, or maybe you take none. And if your mind wanders, Gently bring yourself back to observing. If you were living a perfectly pure life, how would that make you feel? Or how would that affect your life, the goals that you have in it? Breathing in to gently come back onto your hands. We slide our right knee back. And then our left knee forward, left foot to the right side of the mat. And sliding back into our half pigeon. Squeezing the hips in opposite directions. And staying here for 3 minutes. Reminding yourself to breathe in and out through your nose. And if your mind wanders, you bring it back to right here, right now. Your presence on your mat. And from here, ask yourself the question, in which way might I already be purifying life or myself? Maybe it is in the way you eat, the way you move, the thoughts you think, or the awareness in your thoughts. And maybe there is something that you've encountered this practice that you would like to take with you in your life. And if not, that's also completely okay. One more minute. Breathing in to get back on your hands. Shifting your weight over to your left hip. Bring your right foot all the way up, around and over. And we come all the way back down onto the spine. Taking your left leg out long, hug your right knee into your chest. Taking it all the way out to the right, bring knee to armpit first. Give yourself a big squeeze. And then from there, you bring your right knee in line with your hip, so 90 degrees. And then we roll it over all the way towards the left. Bringing your right arm out to the side. Eyes full to your right. And 3 minutes here again. Taking a big breath in to lengthen your spine. And exhale to rinse. Maybe you want to bend your back knee and right hand catches your right foot. Pulling your right knee or your left knee further down and left heel to bum. Maybe you want to straighten your right leg and catch the foot. In both of these adjustments, deepen your twist, trying to get both shoulder blades back to the spine or back to the mat. And both of them are optional. Keeping your eyes closed, your mind focused. And taking this last posture on both sides to simply clear your mind. Focusing on right here, right now, your breath, the sensation of asana. And if you are holding on to either one or both of your feet, gently let them go now. And we roll all the way back onto the spine. Again, giving the right knee a little squeeze before kicking it all the way out long. Bringing the left knee into the chest, pulling it towards the left side, squeezing it in. And then you bring the knee back above the hip so that they're in line. And from here, we roll it all the way over to your right. The left arm pulls along, or maybe left hand grabs the left side of your rib cage to help you rinse deeper. Eyes full to your left regardless. Taking a big breath in to lengthen. And then exhale to rinse a little bit further. Again, maybe you want to bend this bottom knee. Grab the foot, pull it behind you towards your bum. Maybe you want to straighten that left leg and hold on to the foot. Last minute here. And breathing in to gently unravel. Let go of your feet if you're holding on to them. And roll the way back onto the spine, squeezing your left knee out to the side and in. And then gently kicking both of your knees into your chest. Maybe take them as wide as your torso as well, or keep them closer together, however you like. Little rock side to side. Bringing your nose to your knees if that feels good. Giving yourself a big squeeze, or maybe using these last few moments to do whatever you need to feel complete today. Giving yourself a big, big squeeze, tensing every single muscle in your body. Your face, your arms, your legs, your belly, your feet. Squeeze, squeeze, tense, tense, tight, tight. And then exhale. We fall wide. Kick your feet wide. Your arms wide, either next to your body or up above your head. Big breath in, fill up your belly, your chest, your throat, full lung capacity, and then a big sigh out. One more big breath in. Let everything fall away, pushing all of the air out of your lungs. And then taking a gentle inhale. Feeling how air fills your lungs. And how it then leaves again. Closing your eyes. Allowing yourself to fall restfully and peacefully on your mat. Right now, there is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. Simply be here and experience right here, right now. Feeling yourself and your body soften a little bit more with every exhale. And allow yourself to fully sink into this full experience of Shavasana. Corpse pose. Where part of our body or part of ourselves, in a way, every time we're here, dies, so that we can be reborn every time that we get up from our mats, even if just on a microscopical level. Everything that doesn't serve you, you leave it here in corpse pose. And going forward from this practice, I invite you to one day, maybe tomorrow, or maybe another, you start the day with an intention similar to how we often start our yoga. And in line with our intention or the theme of our practice today, you could start it with saying, today I am going to live solely in purity, in pure purity, in pure honesty, in every way in which I can. And see how that intention, that awareness, changes how you move through your day. Taking a moment to thank your body for everything. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up, for sticking with it. And when you feel ready, gently start to move your fingers and your toes. Bringing your arms up and above your head. Bending your knees and rolling over to one side into your fetal position or your fetus pose. And from here, in your own way, in your own time, you gently make your way up into your seated position.